All right. Hello, everyone. You're welcome to tonight's live session. Today promises to be very interesting. We're going to be talking about a very interesting topic. And I'm sure that for everything that you're going to be learning today, you're going to learn something new, something that you've not known before about your intimate health. All right, so I'd like to welcome everyone who is joining us in today's live session. You're welcome. If you're just meeting me for the first time, my name is Dr. Shamsia Aliyu. I'm a women's pelvic and obstetric health physiotherapist. I provide solutions that enables women, solve their physical, pelvic, and obstetric health issues. So, from back pain, pelvic floor issues, sexual related issues, pelvic pain, knee pain, painful menstruation, issues with PCOS, infertility. I am your go to doctor. All right. So I'm also the founder of Her Wellbeing and Care. And part of what we do at Her Wellbeing and Care is to bring the right information to women because we believe that information is power and not just power. It is more power or it's superpower when you have information and you apply that information. And so that's why I'm so excited to have every one of you here tonight. And then I'm happy about the topic we're discussing, right? We're going to be understanding what it feels like to actually have a healthy vagina. All right. So, happy Friday, everyone. I would just like to know how you're feeling this evening. Nice to have you. And then we'll be going right into our topic of discussion today. Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen in a moment. Yes, so I'll be sharing my screen. Okay. All right, I believe you can see my screen. So like I said, today we're talking about a very important topic, which I believe affects each and every one of us as a woman. You know that the beautiful thing about we as women is that God has created us in such a way that our body parts are so unique and so different, right? So the way some parts that we have, the males do not have it, you know, so that would make us different. So we have what we call our reproductive organs, which enable us to actually have an enhanced reproductive life, for us to be able to move from one stage to another, move from being a child, you move to being the puberty stage, the adolescent stage, the adult stage, right? Which is your full blown reproductive age, and then you move to the menopausal age. So each and every part of the stages of our lives of as a woman is very important, and it's very important for us to pay close attention to these areas of our health. We have different parts of our intimate health, right? And part of it is our vagina. So these are no longer the days where we are shy of talking about these issues, because these are real life issues. And if we do not address them, if we do not understand them, how they work, it's really going to be difficult for us to know what is normal and what is not normal. And that's what brings us to today's conversation, right? We're talking about our vaginal health, how to know if my vagina is healthy. It's very important because why, you use that place for so many things, amongst many other reasons that you may want to say your vagina is used for. But one, it is used for what? It is used for intimacy. In fact, first before you start intimacy, that is where the menstrual blood comes out from. In our previous sessions, which we've actually talked about menstruation, right? We've understood the different types of menstrual disorders. If you missed our previous live sessions, please, the link is the link is the link is on our page. Please locate it and go listen to it, right? Yeah. So today we're talking about the vaginal health. So I was talking about the importance of the vagina. So before you even start using it for intimacy, you actually that's where the vaginal blood comes out from. So it's very important. So imagine that as a woman, you didn't have a vagina. That means menstruation will not come out from there. So it's very important because that's where your menstrual blood comes out from. That's where you have intimacy with your spouse for you to be able to get pregnant and grow into motherhood. So we can see that this part of the body is not a part that you should neglect as a woman. So your vaginal health, when we're talking about what is normal and what is not. So we're trying to understand the normal way the vagina is supposed to be. So, understanding your vaginal health empowers you as a woman to recognize when your vagina needs attention, because just like any part of your body, right, it's very important for you to know when things have gone abnormal and when things are still normal. All right. So, now, one very beautiful thing I want you to know about the vagina is that it is the self cleaning oven. It is called the self cleaning oven for obvious reasons. Now, we have what we call the vaginal ecosystem. Just imagine your vagina as a whole, right? It has a delicate balance of beneficial bacteria, and this bacteria is known as lactobacillus bacteria. And what this bacteria does is that it protects you against harmful microorganisms, right? So we're going to get into it. We'll see this is the reason why we'll see why some people they'll be like, I'm neat, I'm doing everything. In fact, that your over neatness in quotes can sometimes even become toxic or acidic to your vagina, which can even be like a breeding ground for the harmful bacteria to come in. So sometimes, you know, anyways, we're going to get there. So we're understanding the vaginal ecosystem. So we said there's the good bacteria, which is called the lactobacillus bacteria, and this protects your vagina against harmful microorganisms. Now, the vagina itself, we can see it here. I don't know if you can see my cursor. So you can see this image here. We can see the uterus. This is the womb. Then we have the fallopian tubes, and then we have the ovary where the eggs are being stored. And then beneath, below, after the cervix, right, we have the vaginal wall. Now, this vagina has what we call the natural pH level of the vagina. And this pH level is between 3.8 to 4.5. That is, it is acidic in nature. So, and that's why we'll see that it's not good to, put external things to actually, wash or clean your vagina, because it is a self-cleaning oval. It has a natural bacteria that helps to balance it. You understand? Helps to keep it at that normal balance, vaginal balance that it's supposed to have. So aggressive cleaning can disrupt this balance. So you need to come to a point whereby you trust your body's natural self-cleaning ability to maintain the normal flora of your vagina. All right. So now, what are the signs to show that my vagina is healthy? Number one sign you need to look out for is the normal vaginal discharge. There is what we know call normal vaginal discharge. There are different types of discharge, and there are some that are normal, there are some that are not normal. So if you're having a normal vaginal discharge, that is one sign that your vagina is healthy. But if you're not having a normal discharge, that's a sign that your vagina is not healthy. So what are those normal or healthy vaginal discharge? One, if your vaginal discharge is clear, If the discharge coming out from your vagina should be clear, it should be milky in color, it should be off-white in color, right? And it should have a non-pleasant odor. That is, it's just a neutral odor. Consistency varies throughout your menstrual cycle, and they're from thin and watery to thick and sticky. So what this means is that for you to say that, oh, my vaginal discharge is actually healthy, what that means is that your vagina discharge color is clear, is milky, and is off-white. However, this discharge can actually vary during your menstrual cycle. That is, it can either be thick during your menstrual cycle, or it can be thin, right? So when it's thin, it's watery, and then when it's thick, it becomes sticky. So this is still a normal vaginal discharge, and this means that what your vagina is actually healthy. So, but however, what do you now watch out for to show that your vaginal discharge is not healthy? When this vaginal discharge changes in color, that is, it is no longer clear, it is no longer milky, it is no longer off white, but rather it is what? It is now what? It is now yellow in color, it is now greenish in color, it is now gray, or it is thick. It is a thick white, not a thin white, right? Discharge, right? Resembling something like, they call it like a cheese. If you know cheese very well, you understand, you'll be able to relate with what I'm saying. Or if apart from this yellow, green, gray color, it now has a strong foul odor, which can now indicate bacterial imbalance. So this is a sign that what there is a what bacterial imbalance. Remember, there is the good and the bad bacteria. The good one is the lactobacillus bacteria, right? That helps you to keep your vagina in the normal pH balance, right? But if any of these things, if that bacteria, normal flora of the vagina is being affected, there will be an imbalance, which can now lead to infection. So you can see the reason for some of your problem. Okay, so that's the first sign to look out for. The second sign is absence of itching and burning. Remember, we're talking about signs that show that you have a healthy vagina. The first one is that your vaginal color is clear, is milky, and it's odorless, right? The second sign now is the absence of itching and burning. That means you're not itching your vaginal area, or you're not feeling any form of burning sensation. So when it's in a healthy state, there is no itching, there is no burning or irritation present in or around the vaginal area. The skin feels comfortable and normal. That shows that your vagina is healthy. But when it becomes to show you some red flags and red signs that, oh, there is a problem somewhere, to signal you, the warning signs to look out for are when you're having persistent itching. Remember, a healthy vagina does not itch, it doesn't burn. But when it begins to itch you, when you begin to feel like to see like it's turning red, when you're itching it, it's swelling, it's burning, it's having a burning sensation, then it's a signal that there is an infection, and most likely yeast infection, or what we call bacterial vaginosis, or it could be an STI, it could be an allergic reaction, or it could even be a skin condition. And this is the reason why when you begin to feel the symptoms at the very first time, don't just keep it to yourself. Ensure you go to the hospital so that you can actually so that what's it called now, so that they can actually run a test for you, and then you will know exactly what is wrong with you, what exactly you're passing through, what kind of infection, what kind of bacteria, what kind of disease you're having. All right, so before we go further, I just want to remind you, if you are following through today's presentation, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on your notification box so that you don't miss out on our frequent live sessions every week. All right, so going back to what we're discussing, so we are still talking about how to know my vagina is healthy. So the third sign is to look out for a familiar mouth scent, right? There is a unique scent of your vagina. So a mild, unique scent ranging from maybe coppery to sweet, right? Odor naturally changes with hormonal shift. Yeah. So when there is a shift in hormones, or maybe your cycle is changing, right? Maybe during ovulation, or maybe you do an exercise, it's normal that you may just feel a little variation in the way your vagina smells, right? But it becomes concerning when frequently every day from morning till night you did not do exercise, you're not ovulating, and then your vagina is smelling like fish. I don't know if you know, yes, you know this strong, irritable, fishy smell. You begin to hear that kind of odor, or you have a strong foul odor, a very unpleasant odor, especially with unusual discharge. So, or it often signals bacterial vaginosis or a sexually transmitted infection. And that's why when you start feeling these unpleasant odors, it's time to actually speak to your doctor. It's time to go to the hospital so that you will be checked and will know exactly what the problem is. Okay, so we said pain-free intercourse. So one way to also know that your vagina is healthy is that you have a pain-free intercourse. So for, of course, what a comfortable experience feels like is that you have a sexual intimacy without pain or discomfort. So it indicates that there is natural lubrication around your vaginal tissue is very healthy, right? That's a good sign. But when you begin to feel pain, when you begin to feel discomfort during intercourse, it can indicate insufficient lubrication, and that's actually a problem. It shows that there is an infection. It shows that there could be a vaginismus. Vaginismus is when a woman has impossible penetration, right? Or you could have issues like dyspareunia, right? Where you have painful penetration or underlying medical condition. So that's why painful sex is not something. Yes, I know we're in Nigeria, but in the African context, we might think that a woman is told to endure pain, right? But it's common, but it's not normal. So if you're feeling any form of pain, you're feeling any form of intercourse, discomfort during intercourse, I will advise that you always go to the hospital and speak to the right professional. Yeah, so the fifth sign to show that what you're actually having a healthy vagina is that you feel generally comfortable. There's general comfort around that area and there's absence of pain. So a healthy state of a vagina feels like, there's no general pain, there is no soreness, there is no feeling of heat. There are some women, I've heard women tell me that, doctor, I'm just feeling some kind of heat, some kind of unusual sensation around that area. It's not normal. So if you begin to feel some burning sensation, some heat around your vagina or vulva area, um, um, you know, it's actually a problem. So, but if it feels okay, right, everything feels comfortable and normal, then your vagina is actually healthy. So when to act is when there is now persistent pain or discomfort. So it warrants that you actually seek medical evaluation to determine the underlying cause of that pain. All right. So when do we seek professional help? It's very important to know when to seek professional help, right? It's very important for you to know because that will actually help you to know when to seek the right help that you need. I've already said that before, but I'll say it again. So you will seek professional help when you have persistent symptoms. That itching refuses to go, when the burning sensation is becoming intense, or pain that doesn't resolve within a few days. It's a red flag that you need to see a professional. You need to go to the hospital to be tested and to know exactly what is happening to your body. When you feel unusual discharge, changes in color, consistency, or odor that persist, just like we said that the normal color you're supposed to see is clear white, milky color. But when you begin to see colors like green, yellow, cottage cheese kind of color, it's a red flag, right? It's an unusual discharge, an unusual consistency, right? Or odor, a foul smell, a fishy smell. Please, if it persists, you need to seek professional care. You need to seek help. Then, if you're having an irregular bleeding, we talked about menstruation in our previous session, in our two previous sessions. So, menstruation, there's what we call the normal menstrual cycle length, which we said is between 21 to 35 days. So, if you notice that you're having any form of irregular bleeding, bleeding between your periods, you're spotting, or usually you're not menstruating, but you're seeing blood, you see blood after having sexual intercourse, or maybe you are at your menopausal age. That a menopausal woman is a woman who has stopped menstruating, right? Because all her eggs are finished, so she doesn't have any egg that is being produced, that is being matured, right? So she has finished all her eggs. So that age is known as what? Menopausal age. So you are not expected to be bleeding. But if at that stage, maybe you are actually started menopause, you're no longer having menstruation, then suddenly you started bleeding, please, you need to seek professional help. And then if you see any significant changes that worry you or affect your daily life, right, it's very important that you seek professional help. So don't ignore these persistent symptoms. Always know that early intervention prevents complication and helps you maintain a healthy lifestyle. So, how do you now maintain vaginal wellness? Is very important. There are key practices that you need to do in order to maintain a good vaginal health, a good vaginal wellness. You have to be intentional about it. You should know that your vagina as a woman is not separate from you, from your whole body. So, it's a whole body health, right? So you need to eat balanced meals, eat a lot of food that are rich in carbohydrates, in proteins, in fat and oils, in vitamins, in all the required healthy meals that you need, healthy nutrients that is expected to be in your food. Please ensure you eat them. You maintain a healthy weight, and that's why you need to engage in exercise regularly. Don't be overweight, don't be obese, because if you're obese, if you're overweight, because your core is connected to your pelvic floor. I'm sure one of our series we're going to talk about pelvic floor in depthly, right? So weight actually has a way of impacting on your pelvic floor and on your vaginal area. It weakens the muscles around there. And so because of the weakness around that area, it can actually lead to pelvic floor dysfunctions and also a poor vaginal health. So also if you have conditions like diabetes, you need to treat it well. You need to ensure that you take your medications, you're being diagnosed early, and then you're taking the appropriate measures to actually maintain your health. Because as research has shows that women who actually have or suffer from diabetes have an increased infection risk, right? They have a higher tendency of having infections. So it's very important that as a woman you take charge of your whole body health and basic eat balanced diet, maintain a healthy weight, and eat and exercise regularly. And those are one of the things I do as a women's pelvic health physiotherapist. I can help you. You understand? I can help you give I can give you the right exercises, right? That can help you to maintain a normal weight. It's very important that you actually pay close attention to your whole body health. Then regular screenings, stay current with your regular screenings. Ensure you do your regular screenings. As a woman, there's some basic regular screenings you have to do, and one of them is pap smear. Very important. Periodically in a year, ensure it should be part of your yearly goals that this year I'm going to do a routine checkup. Very important. And then in that routine checkup, I'm going to do all the tests that is required for me to do. I'm going to see a gynecologist. I'm going to check my body and ensure that there is no underlying sickness or condition that I should be afraid of, because early detection saves a lot of lives. And let us make it a point of duty to actually be intentional about what about doing routine medical checkups. It saves us from a lot of troubles. And then the third part we need to pay attention to is our hygiene. Women, I can overemphasize this. Hygiene is very important. Avoid things like dodging, right? And using harsh soaps. Just like I told you, the vagina has a normal pH level, which helps to maintain the flora of the vagina. It helps to maintain the balance of the vagina. It's a self cleaning oven. You don't need an extra soap, you don't need an extra wash, you don't need an extra perfume to make it scent nice, to make it scent sweet. You don't need to put sugar, you don't need to put honey, you don't need to put anything sweet, ice cream. I mean, you don't need to put any of those things to actually make it sweet and look clean and healthy. On its own, it's already sweet, it's already healthy. So avoid those harsh soaps. Very important. And let your vagina's natural cleaning process work undisturbed. And by that way, you're actually maintaining a good vaginal health. Very important. So as we come to an end of this conversation, I want us to know that, and I want to remind us that your health is in your hands. As women, this is the time we should stand up for our health. This is the time we should actually understand our body, know what is normal, know what is not normal. Understand your body signals. It helps you to recognize changes early. Very, very important. Know your normal. Know your normal. When things go abnormal, seek help as soon as possible. It's very important. Number two, seek help. Don't hesitate to consult the hospital. Don't hesitate to don't wait till things get worse or get severe before you now try to go to the hospital. No, seek help immediately you feel uncommon symptoms, very importantly. And then lastly, prioritize your health. Vaginal health directly impacts on your overall well-being and the quality of your life. Imagine that as a woman, you cannot have a good intimate life, right? It's going to affect you. Imagine that you cannot give birth. Imagine that you're having a poor what's it called now, you're having a poor vaginal health. Your vaginal muscles feels very weak. You won't be comfortable. So it's very important. It's as important as your kidneys. It's as important as your heart. So these are not the times where we neglect our vaginal health. These are the times in which we should also prioritize our vaginal health so that we'll not have issues in the future and then we start regretting. So I hope that we've been able to learn something in today's conversation. And again, I want to say thank you to everyone who has taken time to listen. And I hope that you apply these things that I have talked about. If you have any questions, please put in your questions in the chat box in the comment section, and I'll be taking your questions right away. And meanwhile, I have a gift for every one of you. Please, you can go down into the description aspect of the page of this particular webinar. There's a free resource for you there. So it's a guide that will enable you to check, it's like a checklist to help you know if you have a healthy vagina. So that's my gift to you all today. And cheers to an optimum pelvic physical obstetric health. So please don't forget to prioritize your well-being and always seek care when you need it. So I'll be opening the floor right now for questions, and I'd love to hear from you all. Please kindly put in your questions before we call it a day. Okay. So I'll stop sharing my screen now. Okay. All right. So if you have any questions, if you need any clarification, I'll be happy to take your questions. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here today. I believe that you've learned something. Always apply what you've learned. I always tell people that information is power, but information that is applied is superpower. So please take advantage of the information that you're learning, especially if you're a young girl. Please make use of these informations, right? Apply it to your health, and you'll see that you're actually living in an optimum health. All right. So I haven't seen any question. So if you have any question, you can still drop it on the comment. I'll definitely attend to it. So at this point, I want to say thank you so much for listening once again, and I'm happy to always be with you all. Um, Sharing knowledge with you, helping you to have an enhanced, you know, women's health life, to have an enhanced well being. And never forget that you're precious as a woman. Take care of your health. Don't wait till things deteriorate. Seek help when you need it, right? And you will definitely be all right. Once again, I'm Dr. Shamsi Aliyu. I'm a women's pelvic and obstetric health physiotherapist, and I provide solutions that help women to solve. I provide solutions that help to solve women's pelvic issues, obstetric issues, and their physical issues, and make you have an enhanced physical and mental well-being as well. Please don't hesitate to reach out when you need help. Thank you so much. And don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of our live sessions or important, informations and videos that we put out. Thank you for your support, guys. I really appreciate. Until I see you next time. Bye.